into the points race now.
It's going to be super exciting, this race, and also very confusing. But let's just focus on the points race to start with.
That's the overall standings in the men's Omnium after 3 races. So little in it. 8 points between the top 3, and then Skjerd, Larsen and Viviani still in the mix. Zakharov down in 11th place. Whereas Hashimoto is there for Japan. So, 25 kilometers, 100 laps. Points earned for sprints every 10 laps. And the final sprint is double, and those points are 5, 3, 2 and 1 every 10 laps. And 20 points for lapping the field.
Yeah, which I think is going to make this race really exciting. I think riders like Viviani, they're going to want to take laps and get maximum points, because all the points gained in this points race count towards the final points tally for the Omnium. So they have a total at the moment, and now every single point earned in this points race goes towards that final Omnium position. So we are watching a gold medal race right here, right now.
Yeah, and so as we're going along, you know that every point so it'll affect the standings in real time. So riders have to be so aware of what's going on around them here.
They'll definitely be keeping an eye on their coaches to get an indication of what points they're on, and the scoreboard as well.
The final event in the men's Omnium is underway, the 4th event of a really busy day for these 20 riders, and it is the points race, and the medals will be decided in this race. 25 kilometers, 100 laps, points earned for sprints every 10 laps, 5, 3, 2 and 1 point for the top 5, double points for the final sprint, and 20 points for lapping the field. We're underway now on the points race in the men's Omnium. The overall leader at the moment, overall after 3 events, Matthew Walls. Jan-Philipp van Schip is just 4 points behind him on 110. And then Benjamin Thomas, the world champion, is on 106 points. So there's so little between them.
And a little mention to the reigning champion from Rio, Elia Viviani. He sits in 6th position with 82 points versus the leader on 114, which is Matthew Walls from Great Britain. Big job to do for the Italian if he wants to win the Omnium here at the Olympic Games. Roger Kluge goes out hard.
Well, Kluge, the German, is a real powerhouse, is Roger Kluge. And he's taken with him Yevgeny Karylyakov, the scratch race world champion from last year from Belarus. And they're looking to try and maybe take an early lap here. And they're working together because Karylyakov allowed to go through by Kluge. They'll try and take a lap.
Well, they've got half a lap already within the first 4 laps. The peloton not too concerned. There are going to be a lot of laps taken in this race.
Well, it's a real test of endurance, this event. 100 laps on the final event of 4 on the day. So the strongest all-round rider will be crowned the champion today. No question about that. They're making good ground. The group is splitting up, and Kluge, Karylyakov are closing in.
Yeah, just some speed now shown at the front of the peloton, and it was New Zealand who put down the first pressure, but it stalled again.
Yeah, Roger Kluge needs his points. He's way down the standings. Down in 15th place. Elia Viviani positioned right at the back of this field for the time being as well, the defending champion.
Yeah, well, there's 2 laps until the sprint. Are the 2 riders going to make contact before that? My guess is they'll try to time it and hang off the back so they get the 5 and 3 points for the sprint, and then they'll try to make contact.
The bell.
And a little bit of communication there. Roger Kluge has decided to catch the bunch before the sprint, take the 20 points. They've made contact, which means the winner of this sprint will go to...
Well, Polikakis was there with Benjamin Thomas.
One more lap as they come through. It looks like Benjamin Thomas will take the 5 points.
And he
takes those points and swings up the track.
Given it to
the Belarusian because he hadn't made contact with the bunch.
So Viviani has taken those 5 points. 3 to Benjamin Thomas, 2 to Gavin Hoover of the United States.
So an interesting tactic of the rider from Belarus who makes it back into the peloton, so also gains 20 points, 25 points.
And Willem van Schip, there's confirmation of those points. And Matthew Walls.
He's applying pressure to try and break this up. Ella Viviani not interested in taking it on. Swings up the track at second wheel.
And Walls puts in an attack now, and going with him is Hoover.
Well, a strong attack from Walls.
Yes. Roger Kluger. He took the initial lap.
And it's Van Schip from the peloton trying to close it down.
Confirming that Kareliok has taken the 20 points as well. That's the pair who initiated the first attack, Kluger and Kareliok. It's indicating that Matthew Walls was the front of the race and Gavin Hoover is with him as the bunch behind. Almost half a lap behind.
Gavin Hoover just making contact with Matthew Walls now. They are the lead of the race. They're half a lap chasing down at the peloton, wanting to get those 20 points for a lap. But now Matthew Walls not getting help from Hoover. He's only along for the ride. That might cause some problems. Hoover saying he's got nothing in there, leaving it all up to Walls. And that's wiped a little bit of pace off the two out in front. Here they are, Matthew Walls and Hoover from USA. They will most certainly take the points for this sprint lap.
Hoover was in 7th place, now 8th place in the overall standings prior to this. There's this front of the race.
So they take the 5 and 3 points, and then they make contact and take another 20 points.
So that's the tactic of just holding off until you come around to the sprint lap and ensuring you benefit from those sprint points as well. So Matthew Walls goes to the top of the standings now, having taken the lap and 5 points. 139 points. He's 39 ahead of Jan Willem van Schip. So Benjamin Thomas, the Frenchman, the world champion. There's Gavin Hoover. So Albert Torres on the front for Spain, swings off, and Downey and then Kluger and Ella Viviani holding off for the time being. 8 laps to go to the sprint.
Yeah, a little bit of a lull in the peloton. No one wanting to do too much work at the moment. The points race is generally sprinted very, very hard every 10 laps, but then there's the element of just waiting and then taking a lap, which gives you 20 points instead of 5. And there's attack now from the New Zealand rider.
It's confirmation of the standing as they are now in between after 2 laps, and Campbell Stewart goes off the front for New Zealand. Walls is quite happy to let him go. Stewart 79 points at the moment. So quite some distance off the 139 of Matthew Walls.
Sometimes that can play in the advantage that the really strong riders are not interested in chasing it. Campbell Stewart out in front now. He's only got a quarter of a lap advantage.
So bottom of the track, Larson rolls up. Ella Viviani, the defending champion. What's he got in store for this race?
No doubt he's going to try something during this race, but it's still Campbell Stewart out in front for New Zealand. And And Matthew Wall from Great Britain, he's really the man in control here. He's leading the Omnium.
So there's the lead. The referee just showing where the lead is, and it's with Campbell Stewart. And he is likely to come take a lap, but again, it's 2 laps to go to the sprint. There's the bell.
Yeah, he'll no doubt want to take those 5 points. He's just backing off the pedals a little bit now, hoping to stay leader of the race until he takes those 5 points. Now he has to work hard to take contact with the back of the peloton. He's working really hard. The peloton know what his tactics are. They don't want him to make contact and take those 20 points. Very hard work for Campbell Stewart at the moment.
Meanwhile, Benjamin Thomas, Nicholas Larson, Terry Scher hoovered up the remaining points, 3, 2 and 1 in that order.
Well, you can see Campbell Stewart just making contact now as we see an attack. Well, very short-lived. So 20 points for Campbell Stewart of New Zealand as he makes contact at the back of the peloton, plus that 5 points he got in the sprint.
And that vaults Campbell Stewart up to 4th place on the virtual race at the moment on 104 points. The lead is still with Matthew Walls on 139. Then it's Benjamin Thomas on 112.
And the big move coming from Ella Viviani, the reigning Olympic gold medalist in the Omnium.
We've been wondering when this would happen, and the Italian has gone like a rocket off the front. Roger Kluger is putting his ears back, and the man who initiated the early attack with him, Karoliok, is on his wheel as well.
Well, this is what we said from Ella Viviani. He's one of the marked men, so when he attacks, he's going to have the whole peloton jumping. He has no choice but just continue on now, but the peloton are not going to let this happen. For Ella Viviani, they are determined. Well, he's continuing on. He rolls up the track now. He realises it's going to be too much of a big ask.
He saw who was behind him as well. Roger Kluger is a real powerhouse. Shut that one down, but you might see an ally in Roger Kluger now.
Absolutely, the three of them have got together. They may be able to take a lap as the peloton have a moment of rest.
Well, Karoliok is a scratch race world champion from Berlin in 2020, so he knows what it's about in bunch racing. Flicks his elbow and asks Roger Kluger to go through, which he does. Viviani, and now they're starting to work well.
Yeah, they're half a lap up now, so a lot of pain on the faces in the peloton. Matthew Walls takes a turn. He knows that it's a dangerous move.
The bell for their leading trio. The sprint on the next lap.
So Viviani now trying to come around for the 5 points. Can he get around Kluger? Yes, he can. He takes the 5 points. Elio Viviani. Now they'll start working together again to try and take a lap and gain 20 more points.
Doesn't he make it look so easy, Elio Viviani there? Really, really impressive. Kluger swings off, and Karoliok and Viviani will pull. De Kettler leads the chase. Then it's Hoover, and South Africa's David Maria is going really well here in the final race. What an opportunity for this man. Come and race here at the Olympics, and he's showing great mettle. Meanwhile, Kluger, Karoliok from Belarus, and Viviani on the front.
Well, they gain time and then they lose time, but for Ella Viviani, it's not a bad thing because he wants to get the sprint points with another 3 laps to go.
It's coming back slowly but surely, the group. But they're working well together, this trio.
Yeah, Van Skip and Larson are doing most of the work on the peloton.
Roger Kluger, so powerful. He's had a very busy year on the road, 56 race days this year. Kluger did both the Giro and the Tour de France. Didn't finish each of them, but did over a dozen days of both. And, that's what these men do.
So much endurance. These guys out in front just swapping off turns, just holding a steady half a lap lead. Peloton is split into two.
Pace is high, and now they will start looking at the sprint and the catch, this trio.
Yeah, they can see the back of the second part of the peloton, so that will give them some encouragement. Next lap, they'll hear the bell. Constant little moves from the peloton as these three stay out in front.
There's the bell for Roger Kluge. Daruni Karoliok of Belarus and Elia Viviani, the Italian and defending champion.
Yeah, here he goes. He comes off the wheel. He wants to try and come around the two of them to take those 5 points again. And then he'll start thinking about trying to make that lap and gain 20 points. There he goes.
It's a masterful display by Elia Viviani at the moment, the defending champion. He's putting real pressure on Matthew Walls. The man has been leading thus far.
Well, he did a massive turn and hoped that Roger Kluge could close it. But it'll be after this lap. The minor points are taken by Matthew Walls that the peloton may sit up and they get a chance to catch. So Roger Kluge just catching the peloton now for 20 points. That puts Elia Viviani in a good position as well. They're trying to hang off the back. They're trying to take another 5 laps and not make the catch. They don't want to make the catch. They've had the discussion.
This will be the second time they do this. They're just going to try and hang off the back here. Viviani, Kluge, and Karoliok.
Well, it's a hard way to do it, and at some point, if they're getting too tired, they have to make the catch, and they've done that now. 20 points to those 3 riders.
And that vaults Elia Viviani into second place overall.
He's still got a massive job to do to catch the leader, Matthew Walls of Great Britain.
He's 28 points behind him. Benjamin Thomas on the same number of points as Viviani, 112.
Just past the halfway point here in this points race.
And the Belarusian has gone on his own now. Daruni Karoliok, and Sam Welsford goes with him, or chases him anyway. There's a bit of action behind because Kenny de Ketelaere, the Belgians, put his head down to try and join the group.
Van Skip tries to close that gap, and he has on his wheel Benjamin Thomas.
Welsford and Karoliok. We have a look at the overall standings there as they happen now. 142 Walls, Viviani 112. Same as Benjamin Thomas, Van Skip 110, and Campbell Stewart 104. Remember, double points on the final lap.
Very, very important, the final lap. So they're in a sprint lap at the moment. Matthew Walls takes it out from the front for Great Britain. Elia Viviani in second. Will he try to come off the wheel, or will he save some energy for a counter-attack? I think he's happy to stay on the wheel.
So, another 5 to Walls. Viviani closes the gap, but Walls moves further away each time. So it's going to be a fascinating battle as they close in. They ease off a fraction after that sprint and look around. Viviani, Benjamin Thomas, Matthew Walls, young Willem van Skip. We haven't seen him yet. He's been on the back or the front of the chase group for most of the race. Now he goes, the Dutchman. They're having such a fantastic day here at Tokyo. Had a fantastic week at the track. Perhaps he can make it more glory. Well, Great Britain are looking for their first gold medal of this year's games.
They're looking very much in control with Matthew Walls of the gold medal in the Omnium at this point. Biggest threat comes from Elia Viviani. However, he would have to take a lap and more to catch Matthew Walls.
A little bit of a lull at the moment as Spain's Albert Torres goes off the front, or tries to. Kenny de Ketelaere, the veteran Belgian, phenomenal 6-day racer, rolls up the bank, and they all look around again. 36 laps to go of this 100 test of endurance, stamina, and strategy all the way around.
And Matthew Wells just taking control of the race. He knows the gold medal is only 35 laps away. We see the Australian come past with pace now. It's Sam Welsford putting in an attack. Van Schip chasing it down.
So 4 to go to the next sprint. Welsford goes. South Africa's David Maria is going to try and join him. Bold move by this man. He looks over his shoulder and he sees the peloton just easing, and here's an opportunity.
Well, it's been a great race for the South African to this point, but can he get across to Sam Welsford?
Welsford looking very strong. He's just hanging in his David Maria's. Welsford's keeping the gap. He'll come round to take the bell.
So one more lap for Sam Welsford, the Australian, to gain that 5 points. Will he continue after that and try and take a lap? It all depends on what the peloton's doing. He's going to have them in sight this lap.
Well, can he keep it going? He'll take the points. And David Maria of South Africa picks up the 3 points for second place on that lap. Well done.
And 2 points to Elliot Viviani.
Welsford continues. Maria swings up, and Torres takes up the chase together with Viviani, Thomas, and Walls.
Looking very confident. Walls really in control.
Viviani looks over his shoulder as he crosses the line here and sees what's happening behind him. He sees Campbell Stewart putting his head down and coming across to try and join them with Gavin Hoover of the United States. Stewart's a danger man. He's in 5th place overall. He's a danger to Eli Viviani because he's 13 points behind Viviani. Walls is well clear at the moment, 145 points. With Viviani on 117.
It could look like a race for the silver medal here because Matthew Walls has not missed a beat in this race, the rider from Great Britain.
Very controlled. Took an early lap and has consolidated that throughout.
Well, there's only 2 more sprints left. The final sprint, double points, so it'll be 10 points for the final sprint.
And right now it is Walls on 145. 117 is the next closest rider.
So Viviani on 117 in second place, and just behind him Benjamin Thomas from France on 115 points. It's very close. Van Schip on 111. So the gold medal looks pretty secure, but then it's all very, very close.
Van Schip's the one who's missed out, really. He's only picked up 1 sprint point. There's Walls at least, confirmation of his situation. Very, very controlled. He's marked his closest rivals very well as Viviani drops down behind Van Schip and Kenny de Kettler now. But Benjamin Thomas won't let him go too far, neither will Matthew Walls.
So Van Schip leading from the Netherlands with a lap to go. Viviani in second place. And it is the Frenchman coming around to take the points. Viviani on the wheel. Can Viviani come back? It'll be a tough ask.
Viviani, he has won all his sprints very comfortably indeed. But there's so little between the silver medal position of Eli Viviani. It's now 18 points, but he and 5th place Campbell Stewart. And just 4 between Viviani and Thomas in 3rd place, whilst Matthew Walls has moved up, picked up 2 more points, 147. Viviani in 2nd place, 122. Thomas 118. Jan Willem van Schip 112, and Campbell Stewart 104.
Well, 2 more opportunities to pick up points. 19 laps to go, 18 for the leaders.
So, who's going to go big here at the end and try and take a lap as Campbell Stewart and Nicholas Larson and Albert Torres go off the front? It's more and more difficult to take a lap, but later in the race, your legs are really, really fatigued.
Yeah, and all the riders of the peloton don't want to let riders go either, so it's very hard to take a lap in the last 20 laps. They are inside now, 16 laps to go.
Yeah, Thomas is driving the chase here for the group as this trio not able to escape. Larson, Flores and Stewart in that lead group. Now Roger Kluger leads the chase, although it's not too as I said, they're just keeping them in sight.
Well, Kluger just drops the wheel there. 3 riders with a little bit of gap in the peloton.
Well, Denmark's Niklas Larsen, his teammate Lasse Norman Hansen in the team pursuit is the first Olympic champion in the Omnium in London in 2012. Then Izu Velodrome in 2016. The format was changed since then, down to 4 events in one day as opposed to 6 in 2 days, doing away with the timed events.
Well, Stewart, Torres and Larson look like they're going to take the points. Have a sprint here for 5, 3 and 2 points.
Well, Campbell Stewart comes through now.
Yeah.
With Larson and then Torres. So Stewart picks up a couple of points, and he is now just 3 points adrift for the 4th placed rider, Jan Willem van Schip. Out of the medals just at the moment is the former world champion Campbell Stewart. Confirmation that Stewart, Larson and Torres.
Well, they're not giving up in the final 10 laps. Big move coming from Walls of Great Britain and Viviani. They want to catch these riders. Viviani complacent for racing for silver. He's working together with Walls.
Well, yeah, he's only 4 points clear of Thomas, and they know that Thomas is. There's Viviani and Walls. Viviani on 122. Walls is well clear at 147. But it's Thomas who's the threat to Viviani's medal, silver medal here.
Well, he's coming across Thomas. He's got the help of the Belgian rider. Viviani working hard, and I think the French rider may have just given up.
Kenny de Kettler and Elia Viviani have Matthew Walls now just rolled back to sit on the wheel of Elia Viviani.
So these are your 3 leaders at the moment with 5 laps to go.
That's the race lead. Double points with this last sprint, which could, depending on what happens to Benjamin Thomas, vault Campbell Stewart into a medal position.
Well,
he is just 9 points adrift.
These 3 riders are going to take a lap, which means if they make the catch, then the double points could go to the next 3 riders. What they're going to do, they're going to take the catch for sure.
Well, this will certainly make a difference to Campbell Stewart. This is going to be a big move for the New Zealander. Larson is a little bit further off the pace.
And all the work done by Viviani and Matthew Walls may come to an end.
This is the bell for the final lap here. There, Matthew Walls on the front 4. Great Britain is in the gold medal position. He's got himself a superb ride all the way through. Shear will take the double points at the end as they go round, and Matthew Walls is absolutely superb. 153 points. Campbell Stewart has taken the lap and taken the silver medal for New Zealand. And Elia Viviani is in 3rd place. Confirmation of that final sprint, the double points for Skip. But it is Matthew Walls of Great Britain who is the Olympic champion in the Omnium. Absolutely superb ride by him. Didn't put a foot wrong. And Walls takes it. Campbell Stewart rode brilliantly in the dying moments or dying laps of this race to take the lap and vault himself from 5th to 2nd place. And the New Zealander has taken the silver medal with Izu Viviani, the defending champion, the bronze medal.
Well, 2 medals to New Zealand tonight. They must be absolutely stoked with that result. Fantastic ride by Matthew Walls. He didn't put a foot wrong during all 4 races. And Izu Viviani in 3rd takes the Italian flag. And here's your winner, Matthew Walls.
A first gold medal of these games for Great Britain comes on day 4. It's been a tough battle for them this year. Been so dominant over the last 3 or 4 Olympic Games, but Matthew Walls is the man who puts his name in lights, and Campbell Stewart, tactically very astute, takes 2nd place.
And it came down to that final few laps of the points race for Campbell Stewart. He's getting his hand shaken hard for the defending champion.
Well, a bronze medal is a very fine achievement, but as the Olympic champion, he was hoping to defend. But this man, Matthew Walls, did not put a foot wrong the entire 4 races. What a fantastic job.
Your Olympic champion in the men's Omnium here at Tokyo, Matthew Walls.
Another Olympic gold medal for Great Britain on the cycling disciplines here. They've really had a fantastic games and could well have more to come.
Well, here you see the moments Matthew Walls had realised he'd become Olympic champion. So much work goes in over the 4 or 5 year period, and to get on the day, to have the legs and to have be in the mentality to go out there and win is not easy. But from race 1 today and to a race 4, this man, Matthew Walls, was the man in charge.
Confirmation of the result of the men's Omnium. Matthew Walls of Great Britain takes the gold medal, 153 points. Campbell Stewart, a late charge in the points race to take silver. Izu Viviani, the bronze medal. And the world champion outdone in 4th place. Welsford, Karoliak made the early break to Kettler. Zakharov down to David Marie, who took a couple of points in that points race. And a great achievement for him to finish. But this is the man, the gold medalist, Matthew Walls. There's the silver medalist. And Izu Viviani, the bronze medalist for Italy.